to be Academics and Student Union Liaison Officer here at John's because I am passionate about both the student voice and the student experience. So, firstly, academics. In witnessing and being a part of the great academic events organised by Antonia these past 2 terms, I realise how academic affairs are so essential to the college. They provide an opportunity for people to engage with new people in something academic that's not their degree. They provide opportunity for Cranmer and Johns to come together and meet in friendly competition, and perhaps most importantly, they allow us to engage in debating without having to be a part of the Durham Union. If I was elected to this role, I would make sure these events continued, introducing maybe an ultimate academic quiz and more to encourage people to extend their thinking beyond the lecture theatre, and most importantly, indulge in lots of snacks. Now for the Student Union. After being involved in many trade union activities in the past, even being present here in Durham for the Miners' Gala on many occasions, I understand fully the importance of the opinions and voice of the people. Here at university, the student voice is essential. I witnessed firsthand its power and impact at the Ripped Off campaign protest last term, where many Johnians showed their support. As student union rep, I would help people better understand what the student union actually is. I would do this by raising awareness during Freshers Week, creating a video or simple leaflet, as well as offering drop-in sessions, providing information that would make the importance of the student union clear. This would hopefully result in more participation from Johns in wider referendums. The last one having barely 20% of people voting, an embarrassment in comparison to Cranmer's 51. I bet even many of you here have never been on the Durham Student Union website. It's an amazing resource. Go check it out. The Student Union is extensive and prolific, and I could stand here for the rest of the evening talking about it, but I won't. Even if I am elected, I will make sure to get more people at John's as passionate about it as I am. Hopefully then, more will get involved in polls I hope to put in place over motions debated at the Student Union. And everyone will read the regular emails I would send with joy. I understand I've just thrown a lot of things at you in a short amount of time, but put simply, I am passionate about both academics and the Student Union, even more so about John's and its people. In voting for me, you vote for even more academic fun, even more knowledge about the Student Union, but perhaps most importantly, a vote for me is a vote for your own voice, which I would be proud to represent. Thank you.
Hi, I'm going to keep it short and simple. My name is Chahat, and I cannot even express how passionate I am about the role, but I'm not going to bore you with it. So I understand that it's a responsibility wherein I will get the opportunity to represent Johns, for which I will have to make sure that the student voice is paid attention to. And it is only possible to represent students when they know about what take they have to make on a decision and on the agendas that are to be discussed at the DSU. So all of us are aware that there is only a certain group of people that represent the whole college, but I want to change that. I want to create a forum both online and offline wherein the agendas that are to be discussed will be displayed and explained, and people would get the opportunity to vote on those. As the junior DSU rep, I got to attend 2 meetings, and which is why I'm here today, because the opportunity to vote for the betterment of the college is something which seemed really nice to me. And as the academic officer, I would also love to continue with the university challenge. However, I would like to bring in a game like Hangman for people like me who are not so big on the GK thing. And for Hangman, I might come up with weekly themes, like for maybe people doing the physics, something related to physics. I could have questions related to the periodic table, or maybe people like me, or maybe people like someone else doing finance, or maybe business or marketing. I could come up with questions related to their course, which will not only have them brush up on their course or on their knowledge, but then it will also give a chance to other people present there to know more about what's happening around them. And so I was thinking that instead of providing free food for everyone, snacks shall be given to people who actually get the answers right, or maybe we could do both. I mean, I know it's pretty lame to lure people because of free food. I cannot do that, I'm sorry. So I hope you deem me fit and vote for me because I'm really excited to take over. Thank you.
Connor first, please.
Just a quick point of information for Chahat. So you mentioned a forum for voting on decisions. So would that be official? So whatever forum, whatever decision was made in the forum, that you would then represent that at the SU?
The forum I'm supposed to create, or the forum that's already there?
So can you explain a bit more the system?
So I was thinking of maybe creating a forum online or offline. I could have an Instagram page for online wherein voting is simple because you have those poll thingies. And for offline, maybe we could use notice boards, and it's just going to be a one-liner or a two-liner explanation about what the agenda is, so that people know what is actually being discussed at the DSU and how is it related to their college or their welfare. So if I could just display that and explain it in one line, and also give them the pros and cons of the agenda that is to be discussed, maybe they'll get a clear understanding of what the thing is and hopefully vote.
Thank you. Yes, Holly.
Sorry, a further point of clarification. Does this mean that you would want to get rid of the communications SU Comms committee, or
no, so,
you do them as well?
No. So what I was thinking was maybe if everyone could vote and the communications team could come together and then see if their vote is actually really reliable, because I don't think that it's going to be I don't really see that the SU Com is fit. I mean they are fit, but then I don't really think that just 4 people should vote on behalf of the 400 people. So,
any questions, Jenny?
As MCR Vice President and Editor of the Academic Journal, I'm really passionate about integrating postgraduates into undergraduate-dominated cultures. And you might know that SU turnout is poor in general, but it is appalling among postgraduates. What one thing would you do to increase postgraduate engagement with the student union?
Alex?
Well, I think the issue is, in my opinion, people seem to not be able to differentiate between the student union, the SJCR, the Durham union, because that's confusing, and everything else that's going on. The student union already has quite a big impact on social media and things, but I think you've got to address the problem at the root, which is people don't know what it is. So just really just hammering home the things they do, because people don't realise how much they do actually do, and I think that people, if they realise that, they would be more willing to get involved. So yeah, I think just raising awareness of what they actually are and how they are really important to us.
So yeah, like she said, it is crucial that everyone is informed about what the union is and what they talk about, but then in order to inculcate the postgraduate people, I think it's really important to make sure that they're here when the information is displayed, because most of the postgraduates don't live in. Yeah, so, or maybe we could do something like have a postgraduate email list, and we could just email it to them. I know it must be a lot for postgraduates to have constant emails for the dissertations and something, but then if they truly want to indulge into the union, they wouldn't really mind an email being sent to them.
Okay, I know the pizza's arrived, but let's focus on more questions. Cara?
What do you think the most important thing about student unions is?
Chahat?
I couldn't hear you, what?
Sorry, do you want to repeat again?
What do you think the most important thing about student unions is?
So the most important things about the students' union is that it actually works for the welfare of the students. It actually takes into consideration everything that's related to student, and it really puts their thought into it while it's making its decisions. There are some decisions where the student might not feel that they're fit to be implemented, but then the students' union has given them the choice to not vote for it or to abstain from it. So I think the most important thing that the student union does is work for the welfare of the students.
I'd say the fact that they actually have the power to make a difference. So the Durham University actually listens to what they want. I mean, they had that huge amount of money which people voted on, which they've now put towards mental health and things. So it's not like it's just for show and it's just to tick a box. If you vote, you can change things, and I don't think people realise that. And if they did, then you know they'd get involved more.
Any more questions? Antonia?
So you both attended assembly meetings. What would you say you found the most interesting part of the one you last attended? What part of it was the most interesting to you?
I'd say the fact that you can, people who represent their college can go up and put forward a motion, which then is put to the referendum, and the fact that, you know, it was really interesting to see all the different parts of the student union. So you had academics and then welfare, and the fact that everyone comes together to do one thing and engage in discussion that can make a difference, I'd say.
So the thing that I really liked about the last meeting was that there were people from different backgrounds and different mindsets who came together and asked questions which concerned them, but then they were also given proper answers to their questions. So, I mean, it was really good to see that the points, the doubts that they had were being clarified on the moment, at the moment. Also, so they were given a chance to vote for some, the referendum also had a piece wherein they had to vote against the pronouns, but then I asked one of the people who was representing the referendum, and I asked if I could not vote against the pronoun thing, and maybe if I could make a change to the pronouns thing. So considering that he was really nice to me, not going forward with his notion and giving me an option to actually change the referendum. So, I mean, it's just that people are given their free voice and free will to choose whatever they want to, and no one is being judged for whatever they feel like.
Alright, okay. We've got time for one question. Unless, no more? Okay, right. We'll go for a break now. We're going to start promptly at 10 to 8.